if you're not ready to go through this fire, to go through the failures, the disbelief from your loved ones, if you're not ready to go all the way, maybe you don't deserve it. It's hard. It's not going to be easy. Nothing worthwhile is easy. So keep on keeping on. It's real. It works. There's a way, and you will find it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another TFT interview. Today we have a special interview. We have a female trader who comes from Nigeria, Christabel. Welcome, Christabel.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm so happy to have a female trader here.
I'm happy to be here.
So can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into trading?
Okay, my name is Christabel Odeta. I'm Nigerian. I'm 27 years old. So I was in the oil and gas industry for a bit, and then I stopped to pursue my doctorate degree, my PhD. And afterwards, I didn't really feel like going back to the corporate world. Mm-hmm. And so I did have a ton of offers from universities to lecture and all of that, but I wasn't interested in lecturing as well. So I did my doctorate in economics. So I was always interested in the financial world and what I could get from it or give to it, you know. And so I had heard of trading. I knew of trading. I just had the general idea of it, but I didn't think that it was something that individuals could really just go into and succeed. So I thought that it would be safest to give your monies to a proper financial institution and get returns on investment from it. So I did my research. I had a few companies I saw, and then I put in, I think, $20,000 at the time. And they lost my monies in like 3 days. It was gone. And but I didn't lose hope, you know. So I researched and I put in some monies into the brokerage firm. I think another $20,000, and I didn't have any proper strategy. I didn't have an edge. I didn't know anything about risk management, nothing at all. And I lost that money in 3 days, but I didn't let it stop me. So I told myself that if I can lose $20,000 in 3 days, that means I can get $20,000 in 3 days with the right edge, with the right psychology, with the right mindset and all of that. So I never let it get me down, you know. So, but I was still in limbo, right? I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go back to the corporate world or to lecture and all of that. So I wanted to invest like a whole lot of money with another company. And then my partner told me that, why don't you learn how to trade yourself? And I told him, no, I don't think this is something an individual can do and succeed. You know, I just had a ton of excuses. And he was like, no, just do it. I mean, you literally have a doctorate degree. You're intelligent, right? So it can't be that bad, right? And he knew how to trade and all that. And so he taught me, and it was hard. I thought it can't be that difficult, right? It was very difficult. It was very challenging, but not the assimilation of the technical skills and all of that. But the thing about trading, it's introduces you to yourself, to your greatest fears, your anxieties, your feelings of unworthiness, your just fear and your hopes and all of that. So it was hard. It was very challenging, you know, but I knew that there was a way. And I told my brother, you know, because I taught him how to trade eventually. So I told him, if there is a way, I will find that way. If there exists a way, I will find that way. And apparently there was a way, and I found it. So
incredible. Yeah. I mean, you're definitely, it's visible that you have a really strong mindset, and you have the mindset that is required for a profitable trader. So yeah, it's incredible to see how strong you've been, and that you just kept believing in yourself and in the process, because without it, you wouldn't make it until here.
You just have to believe, really. You can't not believe. And as I say all the time, I will persist until I succeed, because nothing else is acceptable. And really, if it can be done, it will be done. And that's what I stand with and stand for.
Yeah, amazing. So can you please tell us a little bit about your learning curve? Like, did you join any communities? Did you
help
any mentor, or it was your partner teaching you, like, how was it?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It was so hard learning from your partner. It's so hard because it's hard. you know when a husband teaches his wife to drive, you know that scenario. It's horrible. So at the point I was, I don't want to learn anymore. Thank you. I'm okay. It's very hard. Well, but because he's like a very, very brilliant person. But and I'm a slow learner, right? I learn in a very, very subtle way, but when I grasp it, I never let it go and all of that. So it was hard in the beginning, but he was quite technical and I think he gave me the seeds. He planted in seeds, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
This is how to understand the markets. This is how to see the market and see what the market is offering from its own perspective.
Yeah.
And then he gave and left that. So I took that and I went to the very ends of the earth with it. I studied, I read over 80 something books. I'm an avid reader. There was nothing I was just learning on my own. Because as I said earlier, I'm used to failure. I'm a researcher, so I have failed and failed and failed and failed, but I make sure I fail forward each time and I make sure I know what not to do. And when you have eliminated everything you're not supposed to do, all that's left is what to do to succeed and all of that. So it was hard. It was very hard, but the thing, it wasn't so hard as far, pertaining profits, because the first thing I learned how to do was how to make money. I remember there was a $250,000 account I got with a prop firm, and I made $250,000 on top of the $250,000 account.
Wow.
Yeah, but I still lost the account due to a daily drawdown of 30,000. So I had no idea whatsoever about risk management. Nothing whatsoever. And I was so proud. I had a ton of ego then, because when I started succeeding, I thought there was nothing I cannot do, And I literally had a rule that I didn't use stop losses. I did not use to implement stop losses to my trade. I was like, stop loss, no, the market will definitely do what I know it's going to do. I didn't know anything about risk management at all, nothing whatsoever. And so I believed closing a loss was, accepting that you're a failure. And that was so unnecessary to even think that way, So I made a ton of profit, but then I would violate to manage trades. I didn't know how to manage myself. I wasn't managing risk at all and all of that. So as I said earlier, the first thing I learned how to do was how to make profits. And I learned that the first month. The remaining 2.5 years after that time was learning how to master myself, how to understand, my fears, my impulses, how to know that, it's not about you. Like, the market doesn't care about you as an individual trader. Yeah. Life doesn't revolve around you, There's so much that exists, and no amount of anxiety can or will stop whatever is going to happen. Whatever will be in the market. So it's really, really extremely selfish to think that, everything should happen the way I think it should. It's just unnecessary. And so when I got that out of my head, I lost so much. I told you I failed over 20 accounts more. Yeah. And the thing about me,
so strong mentally, like so strong. Get up after 20 accounts is so much money. Like, wow.
Literally, when I got my first payout, I was like, oh, okay, at least I've gotten half of what I've spent on purchasing accounts. So, but I was really grateful for it. But there was you get humble if you haven't failed so much, maybe there would be no depth to you as a person, really. There would be no humility, no compassion, no kindness, no proper structure to you. So I failed so much, and I'm used to excelling in every area of my life, academically and work-wise and all of that. So I think this was the first thing I ever ventured into that broke me. This was the first thing I failed at ever. I had never failed so much. I had never failed at all. So there was a ton of feelings of unworthiness. Why? What am I doing wrong? Is it me? And it was a lot. It was a lot. So it was really hard. And at a point in time, my partner was like, are you sure? Are you sure are you sure? Really? If it's not working, you can do something else. You're intelligent, you can do other things. But I said, no, I will persist until I succeed, and nothing else is acceptable. And I just kept on with it. So I didn't have any mentors, but I read a ton of books, and I literally love Mark Douglas. I've read all of his books. I literally read his books every weekend. every weekend from beginning to the end. Every weekend, I've read the reminiscences of a stock market operator. I've read market sardines, and I read a lot. So I didn't have any strategy. I didn't get any strategy from anybody. When I looked at the charts, I just wanted to understand what the market was offering me from its own perspective. I didn't care for anybody's strategy, what's happening. I want to understand the wise counsel of the market. It was me and the market. And I didn't ever intend to defeat the market, or I want to beat the market. Why? The market provides for all of us. Why do you want to beat the market, right? I wanted to understand and learn from the market and listen to the wise counsel of the market. So I think when I got that whole defeating thing out of we will beat the market and we made all this. No, I don't want to beat the market. Exactly. So it was hard. It was hard, but I knew there was a way, and I think I found it, and I'm really content. And I am a beginner every day. Every day I tell myself I know nothing. Now is new. Today is a new day. I know nothing at all. I will allow the market teach me and show me. I don't know, because especially being an academic or someone who has been in certain points in your life, you expect that everything just, follow, everything just happens the way you think it will happen. But no, life is not like that. No one owes you anything. The market does not owe you anything and all of that. So anytime I feel like I'm getting on my high horse, the market brings me down and says, calm down, so.
What was the eye-opening moment for you?
I don't think it was one particular moment, really. It was, as I said earlier, remember, I the first thing I learned how to do was make money. But yeah, the eye-opening moment was when I realized that the way to be one with the market is to trust it. Is to trust it. I mean, just get out of your own head and just align yourself with the way of the market. Why are you struggling? Why are you trying to make life harder for yourself? I told myself I will not cause myself any more pain. Yeah, I think I've gotten it. The eye-opening moment for me was because I was dealing with a lot of impulsive trades. I was dealing with a lot of impulsive feelings. I'm waiting for a perfect setup. I know it's a very good setup, and I say, okay, this is a very good price, and I know that I have to wait for market confirmation. But I'll say, no, I already know it's going to come back. And I was dealing with a lot of jumping the gun, anticipating the move, and then you just click on it, and it was not the right time, and you lose, and all of that. So at a point, I realized that I am the one causing pain for myself, and I refuse to cause more pain for myself. So I told myself, if I perish, I perish. I'm not going to, if my conditions are not met perfectly, if I have to shoot myself in the head, I will, because I'm not going to take this trade if my conditions are not perfectly met. Because it's as good as shooting yourself in the head. Do you want to succeed? And as I said earlier, I had lost so much money trying to giving people, institutions money to pay, to trade for me. I had lost so much money, and I was so depleted. So I said, why do I want to cause more pain for myself when even if you do everything right, there are black swan events like Nassim Taleb told us about. There are acts of God or something so shocking that can happen, right? So why don't you do everything right on your own part? And if those things happen, those unexpected occurrences happen, that on my part, I did everything right. Yeah. And then you can move on and say, of course, all outcome in the random, right? The present are random. But if you look at everything from a probabilistic point of view, that, okay, out of every 10 trades, I would get the way I trade, out of every 10 trades, I get 8 to 9 positive. Wow. So I'm saying, yeah, so I've always had a very high win rates, so it's any error I ever have was me.
The emotions.
Perceiving what the market was offering me from its own perspective. It was me trying to force my will onto the market. So it has never been about the structure. It has never been about the market. It has always been about me. And I have no blame whatsoever. Even when I lost all of those accounts, I never ever said, oh, the market makers, oh, the prop firm, the brokerage firm. Nothing. It was me. It was, Christy, what can you do right? What have you done wrong? How can we eliminate this thing? And how can this not happen again? So it was, I always took all of the feedback back to myself. Yeah. Just how can I be better? How can I do better? I have never blamed anyone, any proprietary firm, any broker, nothing at all, because it's unnecessary. Yeah. Because if it can be done, there are people doing it. So why are you failing? So I had always taken all that back to myself and said, how can I be better? And I think it's a very, very good way to grow in life as a
I-
trader as well.
yeah, I totally agree. How did you find TFT and how was your experience with us?
Oh, TFT, TFT. Okay, almost all proprietary firm traders started with FTMO, I think, because they're
Yeah.
one of the oldest prop firms. Yeah, so imagine I told you I had lost almost $100,000, giving it to companies to trade for me and all of that. So when I saw an FTMO on the internet, an advert and all. So I was like, well, is this possible? That not only are there companies that trade and can trade profitably or whatever, but they're willing to fund traders. So now they're not taking your money and giving you the pittance. They're willing to fund traders and pay you a huge percentage from the money. So it was unreal, So I was like, I thought, what if it's not real? But I was like, literally the worst has already happened. I've lost so much money. It can't be worse than what has already happened, right?
Yeah.
So then I got the account and I failed and failed and failed. But I was happy, I mean, it's better to lose $2,000 or 1.5 or whatever than to lose, let's say, $50,000 of your money. So I was happy that I was getting that pain of, I'm losing my money when I was actually messing up. I'm losing money, but I wasn't losing so much, right? So it helped me learn. So when I FTMO, I realized, okay, it's small. They have smaller capitals, and I want something more. So I saw another company which was really larger. I think they had like a $1 million account. I got it. And these accounts are quite expensive. And I failed there over 20 times as well. I mean, I was doing everything at the same time. So someone then sent a friend, I think my friend's husband sent a link and said, these people, they offer the same thing with this other company you trade with. But it's way cheaper. It's like half the price, and then I looked at the objectives. TFT has like one of the easiest trading objectives ever, really, because the other company I was trading with, their objectives are 20% to get, and TFT is just 10%. So I was like, whoa, is this real? Like it's too easy. It's a little too easy, because it was very doable for me and all of that. And so I saw it and I read I read that the CEO was young. I didn't know how young, but I was like, I mean, young people are doing great things, right? So I got it, and I think I failed the first one, not for lack of profit, but I think I was refusing to close one loss, and you know how it can be and all of that. So, but I knew that, okay, first of all, it was extremely affordable, and I liked the whole setup and everything. And I was like, okay, let me concentrate. At that point, that was the point I was saying, I don't want to cause more pain for myself. I've lost so much time, so much resources. I was ready at that time, so I got another account. I put my head down. I passed it. I think I got funded, but I think I got when I lost the first funded account, I was just, oh, now I'm here and all of that. And I think there was a news event and I went in and I just lost it. But then I told myself, never again, never again. Never again. You're not a gambler. What are you trading during news period? Why are you doing this? Never again. This is serious. This is real life. And if you cannot keep the promises you've made to yourself, then what are you even doing? Why are you doing this? Don't you just quit everything? So I got serious, and I had lost so much, and I said I wouldn't cause any more pain for myself. So I got serious, and I passed it. I think in 2 weeks or so, passed the verification as well. I think one of my first challenges, I had a 90% win rate. I've always had a high win rate, right? But it has always been about me and my psychology and my indiscipline as well. So I had to put discipline at the forefront, and I got it. I'm really happy about it, and I'm really grateful for TFT. They're really doing so well. I didn't expect that they would go this far this soon, really, and it's amazing. It's amazing. They're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. When we're at the win rate, would you like to share a screen and show us your strategy, how you approach the charts, how you do the analysis, or maybe show us an example on a trade where you enter, stop loss, target profit? Let me just see if I have.
Okay. Let me share my screen now. So I trade only metals, gold and silver, largely gold, right? So and as I said earlier, I just want to see the market in itself. I want to understand what the market is offering me from its own perspective. And the reason I trade gold is when I started trading, I started with the Dow. I had no idea why I chose the US 30 when I started trading. So it was really, it was lovely and it had structure, right? But there was sometimes, right? So I wanted And as you can see, I use Heikin-ashi candles. I don't use the regular Japanese candlestick, right? I wanted to be able to see the market in itself and see what is offering me from its own perspective without any biases, right? So I think the first thing I did when I was looking for a way to have structure, right, was I just got the zigzag. Also, because I know that a market has the highs and the lows and all of that, right? So I just wanted to see the structure of the market in itself. What is the high? What is the low? I don't want a lot of noise. I don't want a ton of indicators and all that. I just wanted to see support and resistances. And this particular indicator, the Bollinger zigzag, it gives me perfect structure. I can see highs and the lows, right?
Yeah.
Good. So I use the 4 hour, pardon me.
So
the 4 hour time frames, all of my analysis, but I use the 1 hour for entry. I don't go less than an hour for entries, right?
So you do the higher time frame analysis on 4 hours?
Yes, I do top down. So most times I also check the daily time frames. I'm just trying to show you how I started, right? So so I wanted to find structure, and I did find structure. Another thing, so I wanted to see it. I needed to be able to analyze it and see the order flow and see how the momentum of the market and what's happening. So I also got the stochastic and RSI, because that was one of the indicators that my partner showed me and taught me with, right? So I have just the stochastic RSI and my Bollinger zigzag. So all this can show me at this time is what the lows, the highs, the supports, the resistances turn supports, the supports turn resistances, and all of that, right? So this is what I was working with. And then I discovered the Keltner channel, and I absolutely love it. And one of the reasons why I love the Keltner channel is that it shows me the average true range of the markets in its entirety. Everything that's happening happens within this. I mean, you can see this, right?
Yeah.
Everything that's happening, well, at least 90% of it happens within the Keltner channel. So it shows in a very healthy way the average true range of the market, right? And then one of my favorite qualities of the Keltner channel is the 20-period moving average. So you see, so I literally had to change the color to yellow and made it very, very big so I can know that this is the guiding hand of the market, in my opinion, right? This is the guiding hand of the market, because look at even this massive uptrend, this massive bull run with gold because of the US instability and all of that. You see this massive bull run. Everything that happened on top of, I mean, as far as it crossed the 20-period moving average, it was perfectly carried by the market. And I call it the guiding hand as well of modern markets, so there's no way. So one of the things I do, I like to trade in alignment with the way of things. For example, this is a buy market. For what reason will anyone start selling right here? So I tell myself, buy in a buying market, sell in a selling market. Now you can buy and sell tops and bottoms in a ranging market, right? A ranging market, which is sideways. So now this has been a massive uptrend, right? And so if you follow my stochastic and my RSI, and you see, I think I put a trade when it was here. I think I came out here because I'm a day trader. I do I have very, very fixed entries and exits. So now, even though I knew that this is going to be a massive, and I knew that this was going to be a massive bull run and all of that, all I took here was 6 points, for example, because all of my trades, right, my stop loss, I have a 6-point stop loss and 6-point take profits. So 1:1 and risk reward ratio and all. Since I have a very high win rate, like 80 to 90%, I know that if I don't mess up, nothing can really mess me up in the markets and all that. So this is really just how I take my trade. For example, now there's a sell that's happening, but it's not solid yet because these are corrective moves. So I'd like to follow the impulsive moves, but sometimes I follow the corrective moves as well. But I make sure that I don't go past if I follow the sell, for example, here, right? I will take my profits before here. You understand? But then you can move confidently with the impulsive moves. And then the corrective moves, like if I say, because I'm going to follow a proper sell that I out before this 1950 points. You understand? So I don't follow any. I just follow the momentum of the market in itself. Because if you look at it, and one thing about me is I backtest a lot and I do post-trade research a lot, right? And I backtest all the way to 1970 every week. Is it, I think 1970 something, or is it 1980 something, to see how my strategy plays in every market condition since the formation or whatever of this charts patterns and all of that, since the adoption of chart patterns. Every single week, I go all the way back to 1970. I think 1970 something. And it was so funny. One time I went back to the beginning of the chart pattern in the gold and all of that. And I saw a little dinosaur. There was a little dinosaur picture there, to say, oh, you've gone so far, right? So I just look at it, even in, nothing can really take you unawares, because as far as you listen to the wise counsel of the market in itself, which is the 20-period moving average, in my opinion, right? You can see if it's, and as I said earlier, I don't use regular Japanese candles because it's very noisy, right? I mean, sorry, look at all of this. I like to simplify everything to the barest minimum. I don't want to see so much. I just want to know, is it going up? Is it coming down? Is it moving to the side? So is it an uptrend? Is it a downtrend? Is it a ranging market? You understand? So that's largely how I take trades. But another principle that's extremely important for me, that's with the higher time frames, right? So I check my the daily time frame, right? When I want to take a trade, I check the daily time frame. Right, so it's obviously buying. It's a buying market. You understand? And I use this particular 20-period moving average, but it has colors. It has a red for sell, green for it's. You literally I simplify it to the barest minimum. Is it selling? Yes. Is it red? Yes. Then sell. Is it buying? Yes. Then look for buy opportunities. So first of all, like for example, when we were having this run here, I was only looking for sell opportunities. When it crossed over to the buy, I started looking for buy opportunities. You understand? So I have checked the daily time frame. I go down to the 4-hour time frame. I check it. I go down to the 1-hour time frame, right? And then I check it and I make sure that there's absolute alignment. So the trades most likely to succeed, right, are trades that are aligned with the way of the market. I call it the way of the market, really, because as I said earlier, the market, in my opinion, is extremely efficient. There are a ton of people that try to explore the inefficiencies of the market, but not me, really. I don't have anything to explore. It's very, very, very efficient. For example, in buying, so you buy. Even if you want to follow the the corrective moves, you can sell, but you sell at the right time. You have to sell at the right time. So everything is extreme timing. Sometimes I'm waiting for a trade for 12 hours. One particular trade entry, because I take just one trade per day, sometimes even 3 trades in a week. You understand? So I'm waiting for just one entry. I can wait for 12 hours, sitting, waiting for one move. Wow. And when it comes, I'm in and out in less than 30 minutes and I'm done for the day. Literally $6 trillion or so is traded every day. How much do I want to get from the market? I just want maybe 5,000 to 10,000 per day. You understand? So when I understood that I'm not fighting the market is not fighting me. I just want to see, and every time I've ever made a mistake or, done something wrong, it was me misperceiving what the market was offering from its own perspective. So it's really, really, this is just all it is. I just want to see clearly what the market is offering me.
Yeah, and you are definitely doing it like as simple as possible.
As simple as possible. And I try to just, the least time frame I would ever trade on is the 1-hour time frame. That's because, all the hedge fund managers and all the people moving billions and trillions, they play a lot with the small time frames. And let's just leave it for them, really. They deserve it, right? But I don't have the capacity to move the market. I'm not a dynamic trader. I'm not a market maker. I cannot move the market. All I can do is to wait for the people that can move the market to move it. For example, all of these trades, all of this, for example, this part is undecided. No one knows what's happening yet. I wait until it's decided. And the 20-period moving average really just shows you the way clearly. It can't get clearer than this, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it really, was the simple moving average, right?
Yes, that 20-period. Yeah, the simple or exponential. It doesn't matter, really. It's really all the same thing for me. But all I'm saying is, but I'm extremely precise in my entry. For example, so here's the 4-hour. I have seen the daily, I've seen the 4-hour, and I go to the 1-hour time frame. So now there are certain conditions that are non-negotiable that must be met if I want to take a trade on the 1-hour time frame. So I'm not really good at continuations because I like to start a move from the absolute beginning of the move, right? For example,
show us where would you enter, where would you place your stop loss, and where is your target profit?
Okay, for example, if I want to
trade that you've taken, for example.
Let me see. I took this trade. I took this particular trade here. So I made sure that the Bollinger Zigzag hits an area of value. I have a formula, really. I think it's what I work with. It's called alignment. When I say alignment, I mean to be in absolute alignment with the higher time frames, right? So that's daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, right? So absolute alignment to the way of things, right? So alignment, then area of value, then market confirmation. So I waited for, I think here it was still a bullish run, but I wanted to follow this particular corrective move. So it hits an area of value here. So I was like, oh, great. And now all I need is just like 6 points. I'm not looking for 20, 30, 40 points. I just need 6-point move, right? So it hit an area of value. And I waited for the market confirmation. And the market confirmation was, I think I got a confirmation here. Or the second candle. So, and it just moved, I think it was just 5 pips. So this was 1923 to 1907. Oh, this was even a lot. All I took from this move was just six pips from this move. So I put my stop loss 6 points. My stop loss is the same on every single trade. So I'll never enter a trade that I think that it might rally back or go there and hit my stop loss, right? So I took this trade. Let me see. Here, I think I took this trade as well, this particular one. So I bought here. I put my stop loss just 6 points beneath here to put my take profit. My take profit just 6 points. 6 points above my entry point. So it's literally 1:1, my risk to reward ratio and all of that. So I
like not complicating it. Okay, it's 1-to-1. It's this much a risk, and that's it. It's the same on every single position.
Yes, exactly. And I always, it's every 10 trades, I evaluate myself every 10 trades, and I manually document every single trade I take. I think if we go back to the video now, I will show you. I could literally show you. Yes, so I have this. Literally, I manually document every one of my trades, literally, right? Because I need to. It's a different thing to just impute all my conditions and all of that on the system and just document it and all of that. But when you take a pen and you hold the paper and you literally write, the first question I ask myself before I take any trade is my structure present? The structure I trade. Now, I'm not a market genius. I want to simplify things to the barest minimum. The structure I trade has the Bollinger Zigzag hits an area of value, and it's stochastic RSI entering back into the zone of the markets. That's my structure. Is my structure present? And then I put a tick. Yes, structure is present. The next question is, as I said earlier, did the Bollinger Zigzag hit an area of value? Literally, I physically put it. Yes, it has hit it. Has the market confirmed my entry? Because I always enter on the second candle after whatever I think was going to happen happens, right? So it has hit an area of value. Now I know for a fact that this is a great place that the trade will definitely reverse or whatever when it comes here. But has the market confirmed my entry? And for me, this was one of the hardest points to surpass in my trading, because you know how when you know so much that it has to be. And that's the one that messes or destroys a person's accounts the most. Your knowledge, too much knowledge is rubbish, really. So has the market confirmed my entry? So even if all of my conditions are met, but the market has not confirmed my entry, I am not moving. I won't go an inch, And then I have another question that says, have I predefined my risk never to falter? Have I predefined my risk? So I'm asking myself these questions. Are you sure you know what you're doing? So I'm asking myself, are you willing to lose, for example, $10,000 to find out if this trade is going to work? Is this trade worth losing $10,000 on? So when you ask yourself these questions, you cannot really be not have proper discipline, really. And then I say, okay, is this trade alignment with the way? Is this trade in alignment with the higher time frames? So even if my structure is present, market Bollinger Zigzag has hit an area of value and all of that, my conditions are met, but this trade is not in alignment with the higher time frames, I will not take it. Because my last question is, are all of my conditions met? So all of these things have to be perfectly present, and not even one can be off. because if one is off, all of my conditions are not met. And so I cannot take that trade. So if you can see here, I don't know if you can really see.
Yeah,
right?
I think that you have a graph of, yeah.
Yeah. So out of this first 10 trades, I had 7 wins and 3 losses, right? And 2 of those losses were I didn't check Forex Factory, I didn't check the news time, and it was news events and something happened and all of that. So when I made sure, and I had a violation for the news event, and I was like, I wasn't trading the news, but I was just not aware, so I told myself, you must be aware. This is not a game. It's not, this is serious, you understand? So when I eliminated news trading, or being extremely cautious of around news events and all of that. The next one, I had just 2 losses, right? And 8 wins. And now the last one I have had, in fact, for the last 13 trades, I've only had 1 loss.
Wow.
Last 13 trades, so, and I think that one I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something and I said, let me, when you get too confident, I've had the 13 win streak.
Yeah.
Nothing I cannot do. I mean, I had another account. I made $100,000 in 2 days, right? 2 weeks, pardon me, 2 weeks. And so I was feeling, very on top of the world. And, when
you the market,
when you start feeling like that, you stop paying attention.
Yeah. Overconfidence is also dangerous.
It's horrible, really horrible. So I just got humbled real quick. And I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Yeah, so these are all of these things, and on this I told myself, I wrote, my goal is to say that I followed all of my trading plans for the months of January, February, and I have maxed January, February. This is March, so I have not. It's so painful when you have to is this condition met and you have to mark an X. So why are you taking trading with an X? So I made sure that all of these trades, there was no impulsiveness whatsoever. There was never I'm not, let me just go, let me just do this one, let me just do it. No, never. The last whatever I had, there was a lot of impulsiveness, impulsive trades. But then I also write comments under each of the trades. For example, the most of my trades, the comments under them are, impatience, small profits due to impatience, small profits due to impatience. Because most times I want to take a 6-point profit, but then I see 4 points and I'm like, let me just take it. So I take it. So most of my comments are small profit due to impatience. And then for the losses now, I take extreme note of the losses because aside the news, the losses that we had due to the news, right? I had 2 false breaks, false breakouts. So I entered early and there was a false break, so I have taken a note of that. So I look for those particular issues and I make sure I don't fall for that particular error anymore. So when I eliminated that, in fact, my last loss was still due to false breakout. Yeah, I thought it was reversing and then it was false and it just went the other way and all of that. So that's what I'm working on now, but there's no impatience anymore. There's no news whatsoever anymore and all of that. So can I read a few things? I sorry?
Like your journal is incredible. Like it's just amazing. That's how everyone should do to stay disciplined. Like I do pretty much what you do, but I don't do it on a paper. I do it on my computer.
I was doing mine on the computer, but then it wasn't. I needed to feel myself.
Yeah. There is very important psychology in writing things. I usually journal my feelings by hand, like I write about my feelings, but I have a technical journal on my computer.
Yeah.
But what you do is definitely like incredible because this definitely helps you to like really be present in the moment and know, okay, am I doing the right thing? Okay, I make sure that I'm doing the right thing and I put check. Okay, let's go on the next one. Incredible. Like everyone should take example from this.
Thank you.
That's amazing. What advice would you give to traders that are just getting started?
Okay, I would say it's hard. It is hard. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. This world is not incompetent enough to give undeserving people something as great as freedom, because with wealth comes freedom, right? And if you're not ready to go through this fire, to go through the failures, the pain, the self-doubt, the horrors, the disbelief from your loved ones, if you're not ready to go all the way, then maybe you don't deserve it, really. it's hard. It's not going to be easy. Nothing worthwhile is easy. So keep on keeping on. And this, it's real. It works. There's a way, and you will find it. And keep it simple. Really, don't overcomplicate things. Don't stop dreaming about the Bugatti and the Ferraris and all of that. It's not practical. Seek to find yourself and understand your own values and know why you're doing what you're doing. There has to be a purpose. There has to be a reason. You need to know why you're there. It's not, if you want to be there to have the Rolex watches and take care of the girls and all of that, come on, be practical. We have people we love. There's a reason we work hard. There's a reason we fail and we get up and we fail again and we get up again. There's so much that exists outside of the get rich quick and all of that. It's hard, but it's rewarding, really. And I do have a bit of advice. I literally read them every morning. I'm just gonna read one or two, literally, to keep my mind very, very sound. So I always tell my people, my brother and the rest, I said the same law that rewards obedience punishes disobedience. So the same laws that rewards obedience punishes disobedience. Like, for example, that you're supposed to do certain things. These are your rules. These are your conditions. This is your structure. But you feel you're excited. You just want to touch things. You just want that same law that would reward consistency will punish you, and you will fail, and you will keep failing until you decide that I will not cause more harm to myself. So I always say, always execute in unhurried awareness. So be aware of the present, be aware of where you are, of your mindsets, be aware, and don't give no justifications, no stories, no rationalizations. Your structure is either present or it's not. So stop naming things. Your opinions are just the origins of your torments. Have no opinion except what is. Accept it as though you've chosen it. Whatever it is that the market presents you, accept it. You do not have the capacity to change the market. We don't have that capacity. You're not controlling a $1 trillion hedge fund. So be focused, really. This is serious. This is serious, really. And then do not fear when you trade. The market is always on your side if you follow your structure and your laws. So
what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And what are your goals with trading and in life in general?
Okay. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I've always wanted to help people, really. I even when I was in the oil and gas industry, when I had a ton of money and all of that, I've always wanted to help people, so even trading, everything I'm working for now, and everything I'm trying to achieve is just so that I can try to alleviate people's suffering, really. People are suffering. The world is, I don't know, it's getting worse. Really, there's a lot of poverty. It's a ton of poverty. Even in my country, it's horrible. People are sick. People don't have funds for hospital bills, and just a lot of suffering. So I said to myself, if I can, and this is one of the reasons why I really got serious. I know life is really fleeting, right? Everything is fleeting. We will die. We'll all die shortly. Just in a few years, we'll die. And what next, really? And all we can do is to show love and be love and help. And all I can do, if I've been given the capacity to even be able to grasp something that could possibly provide freedom, wealth, and aid people, your loved ones. You start from home, right? Your loved ones and people that are suffering, really. I told myself, you have to do it. It's more than just you now.
Yeah.
If I have the capacity to make $100,000 in a month and all of that, I know to a lot of people that's small money and all of that, but it's still something, right? Do you know how many people benefit from that? How many people in the hospitals that they don't have hospital bills, man, food. People are suffering in my country, everywhere. So I said to myself, if there's something I can do, I will do it, and that's one of the reasons why I left the oil and gas industry. It wasn't fulfilling. It was just, okay, salary and this and that, but I wanted more, but not to just acquire and have and to hold, but to also show love and be love and help and I will do it, and I will do it, really. So I don't really have a particular material goal for the next 5 years or one particular amount of monies and all of that. I've always had money and I will always have money. It's something that would happen to me and for me. I've put my everything in everything I've worked on, be it my academics, be it my doctorate. I had my doctorate when I was 24, my PhD. I finished really early and all of that. So I had put in everything. And so I dedicated my entire life to, and I have dedicated my entire life to understanding the markets and getting money and getting wealth and freedom. So I can also help people. I just want to help people, really. I'm not a saint or anything. I'm not trying to, I don't need anything. I have no material desires at this time, right? I just want to be able to teach, help people achieve some level of freedom and all of that for free. I don't have any desires to take anything. I would take everything from the market. I don't want anyone's anything, right? So yeah, so that's
incredible. You really touched me. Wow. Okay. Now, any last words that you would like to share?
Well, I just want to say thank you to TFT, really, and to Angelo, to the crew, to the staff, support, to you. You guys are really amazing.
Thank you so much. Everything you said has so much value. You're such an inspiration and a motivation for me and for all the audience. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here and sharing your story with us. And I wish you everything, all the best in this world to you.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
To all of you watching, it has been such an incredible interview. We have so much to take out of it. So don't forget to hit the like button. Show lots of love to Christabel in the comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then just do it. Wish you good luck with your trading, and until next time.